I feel so bad. I should have never tried to help nobody. From now on, I'm just going to mind my own business. I really just thought she was funny, and I felt bad for her. And, oh, Jesus, now I see why these celebrities don't really communicate with people and just be like, leave them where they at. Because I don't know if I could do that. But that just made me think you gotta be hardcore like that. Just keep scrolling and don't give a, I be really giving a fuck about these people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know how this money do families, and I saw that, and that broke my heart, and I just was like, but now I'm like, shit, GloRilla don't give nobody shit. Man, that crushed my heart, because I really was like, reaching out to people to try to be like, you know, girl, I don't make no money off Instagram. I don't know how they making money. I need to know. I don't make no money off Instagram. I didn't book no jobs for nobody. If I would have got anything for her, I would have sent it to her. I was trolling to run her followers up because I know the promo people, you get more money if you got more followers, and I wanted her to get some more money.
The internet did not just spill tea this time. It flipped the entire table, broke the cup, and blamed the manager. Because what started as a bold claim turned into alleged legal smoke. Public call-outs, and enough online shouting to power. A small city, we're talking about a manager claim, a sister clapback, and a timeline that turned into Judge Judy with WI-V. One side said, put respect on my name. The other side said, lawyer up. And social media said, refresh, refresh, refresh. This isn't regular drama, this is paperwork-flavored chaos. The kind where people suddenly learn legal vocabulary overnight and start throwing around words like defamation and representation like they passed the bar exam during lunch break. Karlissa steps into the chat with confidence. BroRilla steps in with energy. The audience steps in with popcorn and poor self-control. And now everybody's asking the same question. Was that manager claim just talk, misunderstood credit? Or the spark that lit a legal fireworks warehouse? Because when titles, credit, and clout collide, friendships get audited and receipts start walking. The moment this manager claim situation started circulating, the internet didn't just react. It stretched, cracked its knuckles, and clocked in for a double shift. Because nothing activates online detectives faster than two things: credit disputes and possible legal smoke. You could almost hear keyboards loading like weapons. It began with chatter spreading around a bold statement suggesting Karlissa had described herself in a manager-type role connected to BroRilla's early movement and momentum. Now in regular life, people toss around titles like Candy. Everybody's a CEO, a boss, a mentor, a strategist, a visionary, and somehow also low-key. Behind everything. But in the music business, titles are not decorations. They are ownership-adjacent explosives, and the second that clip started making rounds, repost pages moved like ambulance chasers with ring lights, snippets flew across feeds, captions added spice, context packed its suitcase and disappeared on vacation. The algorithm grabbed the story and said, "Oh, this is messy. I'm pushing this everywhere." Within hours, the timeline split into digital tribes. One group said this was harmless credit talk blown out of proportion by clout farmers. Another group said claiming management without clear truth is like wearing a police badge you printed. At home, risky and ridiculous. No middle ground, of course. The internet retired the middle ground years ago. Then responses from BroRilla's side started circulating. Strong pushback energy, clear disagreement with the manager label, and language that sounded less like debate and more like warning. Shots made of syllables, words about misrepresentation began trending in comment sections like a new slang term. And let's talk about how fast legal vocabulary appears when drama smells expensive. Suddenly, everybody online is using phrases like false claim, professional credit, and representation rights. People who still click accept all cookies without reading a single word are now caught. Institutional scholars, reaction channels didn't waste a millisecond. Titles popped up like emergency alerts, manager claims sparks industry drama, credit war erupts, role dispute goes public. Every thumbnail looked like someone just discovered fire again. Supporters of Karlissa argued that conversational Language isn't a contract. They said people describe involvement loosely all the time, like saying I built that whole project when they picked the font once. Their stance was that social media takes casual phrasing and runs it through a courtroom filter. Opponents said absolutely not, that career titles are not slang. And attaching yourself to someone's professional lane publicly can create confusion. False history and industry smoke. They treated the word manager like it required a license, fingerprints, and 3 witnesses. And just like that, this stopped being about one statement and became about credibility. Because in entertainment culture, credit is currency and narrative is power. Whoever controls the story controls the legacy. At least online. Then came the receipt hunters. Oh yes, the screenshot archaeologists. Old posts, old photos, old captions, old tags. People were scrolling back through years like historians hunting lost scrolls. If Karlissa once stood within 6 feet of a planning conversation, somebody circled it in red like breaking evidence. Context threads appeared next. The legendary 20-post breakdowns written like dramatic documentaries, timelines, bullet points, arrows, zoom-ins. If organization were a sport, these threads qualified for medals. Meanwhile, meme pages kicked the door open wearing clown shoes. Fake manager starter packs started circulating, edited contracts with joke clauses, parody certificates declaring people official manager of vibes. Once memes arrive, seriousness leaves the building through the back door. The most fascinating shift was how fast public interpretation replaced original meaning. People weren't asking what was intended, they were arguing about what it sounded like. Online perception drives faster than truth and never checks the mirrors. Live chats turned into shouting arenas. Nobody typed, they delivered speeches. Every comment read like it was being recorded for a documentary nobody asked for. Caps Lock worked overtime like it needed union pay. Some neutral voices tried to say maybe the wording was loose. Maybe the reaction was strong, maybe both sides felt protective of their narrative. Those voices were ignored immediately because balance gets terrible engagement and 0 applause. Then speculation started stacking, the internet's favorite hobby. There must be behind-the-scenes tension. Something bigger is going on. This connects to that. Other situation. Social media connects dots that aren't even in the same coloring book. What made the situation extra combustible is that music careers are built on teams, roles, and verified contributions. So when a title floats into public space without universal agreement, industry watchers perk up like smoke detectors. People began debating what qualifies someone as a manager. Is it paperwork? Is it strategy? Is it early support? Is it introductions? Is it logistics? Half the debaters have never managed a calendar reminder. But today they run talent agencies in the comments. The conversation escalated from disagreement to identity defense. Because once someone feels their work story is being rewritten publicly, the reaction stops being casual. It becomes protective. Reputation is treated like property online. And right when it felt like the noise might stabilize, more reaction clips, more commentary videos, and more hot takes dropped like sequels nobody scheduled. Just when people thought the argument had peaked, the internet did what it does best. It hit refresh and made it louder. Because online drama never travels alone. It brings cousins, neighbors, reaction panels, and 3 conspiracy theories in a backpack. The second wave of chaos arrived in the form of amplified reactions, stitched videos, live stream debates, and creators who smelled controversy the way sharks smell blood. From 3 platforms away, everybody suddenly had inside perspective, which is internet language for strong opinion plus confidence. Content creators began running slow motion breakdowns of wording like it was game footage from a championship finals. Pause, replay, zoom. Notice the phrasing here. Watch the emphasis. Sir, it was a sentence, not a touchdown pass. But go off. The story mutated from a claim dispute into a full narrative war. Now it wasn't just about whether the manager label fit, it became about motive, intention, and perceived clout attachment. People weren't debating vocabulary anymore. They were debating character arcs. And that's when the culture commentators entered, the ones who treat every celebrity disagreement like a sociology thesis, with background music. They started framing it as a larger conversation about credit culture, proximity claims, and the gold rush of association. Because in fame economics, being connected is treated like a currency with interest rates. Memes evolved to Phase 2. Memes are always more savage than Phase 1. Now we got fake org charts, parody business cards, and joke LinkedIn profiles listing people as senior vice president of standing nearby. The internet is undefeated at disrespect with graphic design skills. Debate live streams popped up, like emergency shelters for loud opinions, panel after panel of creators talking over each other with passion and unstable audio levels. Every sentence began with "let's be real" and ended with someone else interrupting it halfway through. Some voices argued that exaggerating involvement is common in storytelling culture, that people often inflate their behind-the-scenes role because memory plus pride equals creative math. Others fired back that career titles are not bedtime stories and shouldn't be stretched like yoga bands. The phrase "show the paperwork" started trending in comments like a chant, not because anyone expected documents, but because it sounds powerful when typed aggressively. Then came the rumor expansion pack. Anonymous accounts claimed there were private messages. Other anonymous accounts claimed there were witnesses. A third group claimed they knew someone who almost knew something. Internet sourcing is basically telephone game with wi-fi.old photos resurfaced. You know the drill. Any historical proximity becomes proof online. Stand next to someone twice and suddenly you're their executive producer, spiritual advisor, and tour accountant according to comment sections. Supporters on each side started treating neutrality like betrayal. They liked betrayal. If you didn't pick a side, both sides assumed you secretly picked the other one. That's the modern rulebook. Silence is guilt, nuance is suspicious, and patience is illegal. Even unrelated creators got dragged into opinion requests like expert witnesses who never applied for the job. Speak on this. Why are you quiet? Say something. The internet doesn't just want content, it wants statements on demand. The algorithm, meanwhile, was eating 5-star meals. Engagement numbers ballooned, shares multiplied. Reaction videos stack like sequels in a franchise that refuses to end. Conflict is the most reliable growth strategy nobody admits they're using. Then parody skits arrived, and parody is the final boss level of virality. Once people are acting out exaggerated versions of your controversy, congratulations, you are now cultural material. Comedy creators staged fake negotiations, fake contracts, fake courtroom scenes with plastic gavels and dramatic music. What turned the heat even higher was how people started projecting larger themes onto the situation. Now it wasn't just about one disputed label, it became about industry gatekeeping, recognition hunger, legacy building, and fame adjacency. The argument put on a graduation cap and became a lecture. You had self-appointed industry insiders explaining how management actually works, percentages, contracts, scope of authority, right next to commenters who think A&R is a vitamin. Expertise and guesswork shared the same microphone. Tension language escalated too. Early reactions sounded annoyed, later reactions sounded offended, final reactions sounded like digital thunder. Word choice online evolves with temperature. Some users demanded public clarification statements, others said clarification videos only make things worse. Both are correct depending on which past disaster documentary you watched. People began predicting outcomes like sports analysts. This will blow over. No. This will escalate. No. This connects to a bigger fallout. Nobody knows. But confidence sells better than uncertainty. What's always fascinating in moments like this is how fast strangers become emotionally invested. Viewers defend narratives like they own shares in them. Parasocial loyalty turns spectators into volunteer attorneys. Meanwhile, brand-safe creators tiptoed around the topic like it was a sleeping tiger wearing a sponsorship deal. You could feel the careful wording. Nobody wanted their clip used in The next reaction montage titled They Chose Sides. And just when it seemed like the noise might finally plateau, another reaction wave rolled in, sharper and louder than before, pushing the story from hot topic into full-blown saga territory. Still framed as online claims, reactions, and controversy, not proven legal outcomes, continuous narration, no labels inside the story, no filler. Strong dramatic landing with future scandal curiosity. By the time the third phase of this saga rolled in, the conversation had officially transformed from who said what into who owns the story. And that's when you know controversy has matured, when the facts stop trending and the narratives start competing like heavyweight fighters. Because here's the truth about internet disputes over credit and titles. They're never just about the title. They're about recognition, proximity to success, and who gets written into the origin story when the documentary eventually drops. Everybody wants their name in the early chapters, not the footnotes. Public perception started shifting from shock to sorting mode. Audiences began organizing the chaos into categories: misunderstanding, exaggeration, mislabeling, or strategic self-credit. Not because they had proof, but because the human brain hates unanswered drama. It wants a conclusion even if it has. To invent one, supporters on Karlissa's side began reframing the moment as conversational wording that got interpreted like legal testimony. They argued that social media treats casual speech like sworn affidavit, and that people online carry dictionaries but no context. Their defense theme was simple: language flexibility, not deception. Supporters on BroRilla's side kept the pressure focused on accuracy and professional boundaries. Their message stayed sharp: career roles are not nicknames, and attaching yourself to someone's work lane publicly creates confusion whether intended or not. Precision matters when careers are involved. And right there, that clash is what kept the fire alive. Not yelling, not men's principle versus interpretation. That's premium grade engagement fuel. Reputation analysts, also known as people with opinions and ring lights, began forecasting impact like storm trackers. This will hurt credibility. No, this will pass. No, this strengthens her base. Internet predictions have a lower accuracy rate than weather apps, but 10 times the confidence. The ripple effect started showing in subtle ways: tone changes, phrasing adjustments, careful wording in follow-up posts. That's always the tell. When language becomes measured, you know someone felt the heat through the screen. Because controversy teaches faster than consultants. Another interesting twist appeared: audience fatigue mixed with curiosity. People said, "I'm tired of this drama," while clicking every update like it was a season finale leak, complaining and consuming. The internet's favorite double feature. Comment sections evolved from emotional shouting to strategic debate. Longer arguments, structured points, screenshot citations. It looked like academic warfare sponsored by emojis. The meme cycle entered its final mutation stage to hyper-abstract humor. Jokes that barely referenced the original issue but still carried the vibe. That's when you know a controversy has fully embedded itself into culture, when it becomes a template instead of a topic. Speculation about behind-the-scenes conversations grew louder. People assumed calls were happening, messages were being exchanged, clarifications were being demanded privately. Maybe yes, maybe no, but uncertainty is the internet's favorite playground. The biggest long-term effect in situations like this isn't explosion, it's imprint. Search memory, association memory, narrative memory. Months later, someone will still comment, "Isn't this the manager claimed situation?" Digital footprints don't fade, they archive. Relationship dynamics also got re-examined under a microscope the size of a stadium spotlight, not because new evidence appeared, but because audiences love retroactive pattern building. Once controversy hits, the past gets re-edited like a director's cut. Some creators called for calm and clarity, others called for accountability and correction. A few called for everybody to log off and drink water. Those people were treated like they suggested canceling the internet entirely. What makes credit disputes uniquely explosive is that they hit identity, effort, and legacy all at once. It's not just who did what. It's who gets remembered for what. That's emotional territory, not just professional territory. And here's the uncomfortable reality nobody likes to say out loud. Sometimes online conflict grows larger than the original disagreement because attention attaches. To tension, calm doesn't trend, conflict does. Nuance whispers, drama uses a megaphone. By now, most spectators weren't even trying to determine truth. They were watching outcome. Who clarifies? Who doubles down? Who pivots? Who jokes? Who goes silent? Silence online is interpreted like a plot twist. The smartest observers know this pattern well. Controversy cycles follow a formula: spark, reaction, division, meme wave, expert commentary, fatigue. Residual echo, then surprise, callback. Months later. And make no mistake, this story has callback potential written all over it. Because any future interview, live stream, or stray comment can reload the entire discussion like a saved game file. Careers don't usually collapse from moments like this, but narratives get adjusted. Tone gets watched, wording gets tighter, credits get clarified faster next time, experience leaves fingerprints. The audience takeaway depends on which lens they chose at the start. Exaggeration lens or accuracy lens. And once people choose a lens, they rarely switch cameras. But if there's one guaranteed outcome, it's this: the internet will not forget the spectacle. It will remix it, reference it, and resurrect it whenever engagement runs low and nostalgia for chaos runs high. Because in digital celebrity culture, nothing truly disappears. And just like that, another credit clash turns into a full-blown internet opera. No orchestra, just notifications and people yelling through glass screens. One title, one claim, one reaction. And suddenly everybody online becomes a certified career historian with a law degree from Comment Section University. This wasn't just messy. This was premium. High definition, surround sound messy. Now I want you in the comments like a courtroom with Wi-Fi. Was this whole situation overblown by the algorithm? Or did that manager claim deserve the backlash storm it got? Was it loose wording turned into legal thunder? Or a lesson in why titles and credits should come with barcode scanners? Drop your take below, pick a side, bring receipts, and try not to indict each other in the replies. If you watched this far and didn't hit like yet, I'm assuming your finger slipped. Go fix that. Smash that like button like it borrowed money and changed its number. Subscribe like your curiosity has bills to pay. Turn on notifications so you don't show up late to the next scandal briefing link. Wait, what happened? Because here, drama doesn't get ignored, it gets examined, flipped, zoomed in, and pressure tested. We don't just watch the chaos, we translate it, timestamp it, and serve it hot. Serve it hot. New controversies drop here faster than apology posts written in the Notes app at 2 a.m. If there's smoke, noise, or suspiciously loud silence, we're already covering it. Share this with that friend who says they hate celebrity drama but somehow knows every detail before you do. Yes, that undercover analyst. Stay loud, stay sharp, stay subscribed. Celeb SY and see where viral chaos gets perfectly synchronized.